Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Clover and I am your new resident Kelpie. Now I know what you're thinking. Clover, aren't Kelpies human-eating water demons? And yes, we are. Great job knowing your different mythological creatures. I'm very proud of you for that. Lucky for you, I've already eaten breakfast, so instead of casual violence, today we will be continuing our playthrough of Scarlet Hollow, going into episode 2. I will have us do the recap of episode 1, though I won't read all of it out loud, just so that everyone can remember where we're at, especially if you guys have seen the shenanigans of my Twitch when I'm doing the other playthrough, which I have now fucked up and have to redo, but that is neither here nor there. So let's do our recap and then get into episode 2 of this spooky game that I love so much. I might have to mess with the volume, obviously, as always, but hopefully I have it at a good amount of sound. Would I like a recap? Yes, please. I'm not necessarily going to read everything, but I will make comments. I'm really hoping that we get closer to Tabitha. That's one of my goals for this playthrough. There is, I know I have found very recently, there is a achievement for going through all the rooms, so I'm gonna have to do that in a new playthrough. Look at these children. Everybody here knows who I am. And apparently I look like my family members. And we met Kanika first, for a big chunk of it, which made me happy because I love her. This was so cool, having the difference in this with the mountain lion, but also poor Duke. Also, as always, general trigger warning, there is some violence, there is some gore. It is a spooky game, so go into it knowing that those kinds of things might pop up and I might not be able to shield you as much as possible, so please just take care of yourselves. Was it supernatural? I love Gretchen. I miss being able to speak to her. Look at those eyeballs watching me. Ugh. And then, I don't know if I could ever bring myself to not choose Gretchen, though. I know that I probably have to at some point, but that's probably gonna be like my last playthrough of make all the changes I absolutely hate. Because I will be sad and cry. Blech. Hate that. Hate that, hate that, hate that. I don't know if it's gonna show this. I hope it doesn't, but I can't remember. Okay, it didn't, thank God. Fuck off, Deputy Franklin. Hi, Wayne. And Tabitha actually saw him this time, so we're a little bit more in depth with Tabby, so it'll be interesting to see what episode 2 gives when I'm trying to get her more involved in my life. Kelpie. Hi, Wayne. I'm really liking that I have the mythical. That's really fun. I think maybe like not my final playthrough because it'll be me doing things I hate. Maybe mythical and the animals together would be an interesting playthrough. But I'm obviously going to do playthroughs with all of the different ones to see what all of them have to offer me. Yes, Tabitha, I'm not crazy. Thank you very much. Tuesday morning awaits. Wake. Also, my cat's going nuts in the background, so you might hear that. You open your eyes. The sun has risen, the birds are singing. You are still alive, and for now, you are safe. Your gaze wanders across the room to the window and the woods beyond. You wonder if the monsters are lurking there, right now, just beyond the trees, ready to pounce as soon as you leave the crumbling estate. A familiar unease settles into your gut, tangling into a knot of anxiety wriggling as the events of last night play out in your head. You can't help but remember Duke. slumped against a tree, pieces of him scattered across the clearing. You're not sure if you'll ever feel okay again after what you've seen, but you can't stay in bed forever. Hunger pulls you from the clammy depths of the mattress. Check on the opossum. You open the drawers to check in on the little opossum you met yesterday. Oh good, he's still there. That's nice. Leave the little mans in peace. I don't go petting strange animals. You decide to leave the little mans in peace. Poke around the closet. The doll's still there. Great, the doll didn't move during the night. Maybe it isn't haunted after all, though after everything you went through yesterday, that's hardly a consolation. Return to your room. You turn back to the rest of the room. Look out the window. Ah, hi Wayne. You creep towards the window, careful not to be seen by whatever might be lurking in the garden. Speaking of things lurking in the garden, for a second you thought you saw movement. It could have been an animal, it could have been something else. Whatever it was, it's gone now. Sometimes I think I missed him my very first time, hanging out over there, and there's other times where there's stuff in the background that I don't necessarily catch before it, says anything in the dialogue. Maybe you'll head out there and investigate after you're finished waking up. Text Stella. It's probably a good idea to check in with your new friend. You can't imagine she's holding up very well. Send a picture of a tired cat you found on the internet. It might take her a minute to get back to you. In the meantime, get dressed and head down to the kitchen. Time to start the day! You're back in the kitchen. Frou eyes you from her favorite spot on the counter. Excuse me, ma'am, but may I pet you? Part of you hopes that flattery might win her over, as silly as that may seem. You are, after all, talking to a cat. Frou merely flicks her tail faster. It doesn't look promising. Hey. Hi, Tabby. The police called last night. I guess you and Stella were serious about that old farmer guy. Yeah, because that's something we'd lie about. Old farmer guy? His name was Duke, Tabitha. Did they say anything about Duke? Did they find the body? They didn't say anything about a body, but apparently he never went home last night. And they had quite a few questions about you, Kelby. Before you asked, don't worry, I told them that you're an upstanding citizen. Thanks for having my back. Sure, what else is family for? This part, yes, but she also, this face that she's making, this also doesn't, she's not one, I think, to really help with that. Can I hang out with you today? At the mines? No. I've got to get to work. But just stay out of trouble today, alright? I'll try and be back by sunset and expect you to be here. I don't want to hear complaints, just do what I ask and we won't have any more problems. Tabitha takes a few steps toward the door. Sunset. Ah, dang it. I was hoping that would go a little bit differently, but Your cousin huffily exits the kitchen. Her footsteps fade down the hall, ending in the characteristic creak, then slam of the front door as it opens and closes behind her. Once again, you are the only human in the estate. Brave of you to assume that. Text from Stella. It's another tired cat. Hope you're holding up okay, or as good as you can with all the stuff we saw last night. I was up most of the night on cryptid forums, no real answers yet. I'm at the library now if you want to join. I have scones. I'll be there in a bit, still waking up. And that's that. Time to start your day. Investigate the garden. I don't want to make a peanut butter jelly because she's got scones. As your eyes wander to the garden door, you shudder, remembering the brief glimpse of something you saw from your upstairs window. It was probably just a raccoon, but the uncertainty of what you saw gnaws at you and compels you to investigate, if only to prove that it was nothing. At the very least, you don't see anything now. Investigate further. You wander further into the estate, trying to pinpoint the spot where that thing had been lurking, if indeed there had been a thing to begin with. Take it all in. The garden is peaceful, but undeniably eerie. Here, more than anywhere else, you're surrounded by the ghost of what this place used to be. A greenhouse sits in the midst of the overwhelming greenery, unreachable from years of neglect, its glass clouded and cracked. Statues reach out from within seas of weeds, as if begging to be rescued. And most strikingly, behind a pair of rusted metal gates, at the very peak of the mountain, sits a graveyard. You can just make out a few of the headstones, the scarlet name carved deep and proud into their faces. You notice what a good view someone would have of your window, if they stood where you're standing right now. Check the ground for clues. He crouched down, pushing aside the greenery to examine the soft earth. A boot print. A big boot print. And what looks like some kind of viscera. Your thoughts turn to the specter from the night before. You snap a quick photo just in case it comes in handy later. Keep it to yourself for now. No need to cause any worry just yet. You head back inside. Time to figure out what to do with the rest of your day. You should make things up to your cousins. Screw going to town. Try cleaning the bathroom instead. Tabitha's very effortless. Okay. So, I think I will try. We're trying to be nicer to Tabitha. We're trying to get into her good graces a little bit. So, and I'm trying to explore different things that this game has to offer. So, I think we will, after last night, if you're going to have to keep using that ungodly bathroom, you're going to at least make sure the surfaces have been bleached. You scrounge for cleaning supplies, finding a few dusty containers and spray bottles, none of which you recognize. They all feel like antiques, but they're the best you have. Armed with a rag and a trash bag, you set to work. It is a monumental task, and it nauseates you to think just how many years of caked-up dirt, gunge? Is that supposed to be maybe grunge? And former fluids you have to scrub away to return some semblance of normalcy to the bathroom. Keen eye. You try not to concentrate too hard on what exactly you're cleaning up, but the empty bottles of blonde hair dye and piles of used makeup remover pads start to paint a picture of the person who used it before you. An older woman, dyeing her once blonde hair and applying a daily shell of makeup to keep the image of herself stagnant exactly where she wanted it. Berlin. She couldn't stay stagnant forever. As you dump the overflowing trash can, you can't help but notice, perched on top of the old bottles of hair dye, a few freshly used napkins. They're covered in what looks like crusted bodily fluid, some mix of blood and unhealthy yellow pus. Oh, okay, something new, something, maybe Wayne? That might be as much as you can do without a pressure washer, and renovations. But at least taking showers here won't make you feel dirtier than when you started. What? I don't like that. But your admiration of a job adequately done is interrupted by the sudden heavy thunk-thunk-thunk of a metal door knocker, the sound seeming to reverberate its way down your spine. Someone is at the front door. Before you get the chance to decide whether or not to answer, it opens. Hi, wandering into my fucking house. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope I didn't scare you. You did. Mystical. Something about this woman is impenetrable, and you feel small and almost naked in her presence. Though you feel no threat, no malice. And then the moment passes and you see only the older woman before you. My name is Sybil. I'm a family friend. Just thought I should stop by to check in on you. That's why I walked into your house without being invited. Stella came by my tea room last night. She told me about what you saw out in the woods, and she showed me her footage too. She managed to sneak away the memory card. Apparently the police are just holding on to an empty camera. Didn't trust them not to erase the whole thing. I can't say I blame her. I brought some fresh tea. Let's settle in somewhere and talk. To the kitchen, since that's the only place. You and the old hippie make your way back to the kitchen. She gives one of Tabitha's few mugs a thorough rinse before pouring you steaming tea from her thermos. The smell is amazing, a nostalgic, earthy odor reminiscent of fall, as if it was brewed with autumn leaves. Take a sip. I'm not offering anyone these fucking boiled peanuts. You take a sip of tea. It tastes not unlike a rotten log, but somehow it isn't unpleasant. Like you're tasting a hike through dawn-dampened woods. It leaves a refreshing, citrusy aftertaste, like a cool breeze sweeping the leaves from the path the tea left on your tongue. Sybil was right. You can already feel it begin to ease some of the straining tension from last night's events. I hope you like it. This is my new chaga and lemon balm blend. I love experimenting with local ingredients. So you're Kanika's mom? Oh, that's right. You've met each other already, haven't you? She said you'd come around yesterday. And yes, she's my daughter. You may meet Miles at some point. That's my youngest, though it's odd to call him that now that he's nearly an adult. It's just the three of us, down at the general store. You said you were a family friend? That I am. I used to know Vivian, in fact, before she left town. Maybe, if you find yourself with time to kill one of these days, I could tell you unsavory tales of her youth. I was a little less close with Pearl Ann, not for lack of trying. She was quite the character, bless her, and may she rest in peace. Is there any news about Duke? His family has been notified. That's as much as I know. Poor Duke. He was a good man. I know what you two went through, and I know what you saw. Those things are real, neither of you imagined them, and they're certainly no ordinary creatures. My grandmother called them ditchlings, and they're a terrible omen, a sign of great suffering and destruction to come. I've told Stella and my daughter what I know, though I'm afraid that's not much. How do you know all this? People tell stories, and I listen. Granted, it's not every day you meet somebody who's seen a ditchling and lived to tell the tale, so I suppose I should count myself lucky to know about them at all. And you should count yourself lucky, too. What kind of destruction are we talking about here? If you'd seen just one or two, I'd say it could be a bridge collapse, a bad accident, something tragic but not devastating. But this many, multiplying like they are, I couldn't tell you. So they're dangerous? Are they going to start attacking people? I think you misunderstood me. They're not dangerous on their own. Think of them more like birds flocking before a storm. They're neither a threat on their own nor the cause of what's to come, merely a sign that things are not as they should be. What happened to Duke was an unfortunate accident, and nothing more. The consequence of the three of you seeing something you weren't meant to see. If something bad is coming, we need to get people out of here. Leave and go where? These people's whole lives are in this town. Their homes, their histories, their families. Most of them don't have the kind of money it would take to start new somewhere else. You can try to convince them, but I think you'll find it a difficult task. What can we do about stopping what's coming? I'm afraid I don't have any good answers to that. But I suppose the best we can all do is stay close to our loved ones. I'd say that would mean Tabitha should try to stay here with you, spend some time with her only living relative that she can. But I get the feeling she cares a little too much about her work to let herself leave it for that long. You could always go to her, maybe that would bring her a little joy, even if she might struggle to admit as much. I don't know if this is something you'd know about, but when Tabitha and I were on our way home, there was this man in the road. It was dark, but he had a miner's jacket on, with a name tag that read Wayne. He knew my name, and there was something off about him. Oh, yes, Wayne. You don't have to worry about him. He's harmless, just very sick. But do let me know if he bothers you again, dear. He's very sick, dripping weird goo. Thanks. This was helpful. Of course. There's a sound somewhere above you. A creaking floorboard betraying a shifting presence. There is something in the room above you, when I'm supposed to be the only human in this house. You heard that too, didn't you? You know, dear, I was planning to stop by the mines for a quick chat with your cousin. Maybe it would be a good idea if you came along. I don't like the thought of you being alone in this big house. Not with the town the way it is right now. Oh, I hate that. There's another creak from above. Leaving suddenly seems like a very good idea. And yet, that thought feels like it's not entirely your own. It unsettles you, though not as much as the sounds coming from the floor above your head. Is something in the estate telling you to leave? Ooh. Do you think this place is haunted? If it is haunted, I wouldn't doubt that you'd find out as soon as you were alone here for too long. It sounds to me like whatever might be here is already restless to have you to itself. I wanted to see her anyway. It was going to get boring staying here all day. Wonderful, let's go. Alright, so we do end up at the mines. Yeah, get me out of this house. Jesus Christ, that was creepy. Neither of you waits around to see if the sounds will continue. You quickly make your way back to the door and out into the inviting autumn air. Get me out of here. Please and thank you. You're once again surprised by the freshness of the mountain breeze, your lungs having grown accustomed to the stale, dusty air of the estate, not realizing how much they were being suffocated. At least it's a pleasant day for a walk. There really is nothing like the mountains in autumn. There's something comforting about the woman's presence. She exudes a warmth, her smile feeling like kindly approval, even though you feel you've done nothing to earn it. Were you born here? How did you wind up in this town? My family has been in these hills for generations, possibly even longer than yours. I married into the general store, though. Before that, we were just your standard hill folk, kept to ourselves, fended for ourselves. That's why I know so much about the local flora. That kind of knowledge was vital for all the generations that came before me to survive out here. Do you know much about my family? Any history I should know about? Oh yes, everyone around here knows quite a bit about your family. You founded the town, after all. Your family and the history of this town are completely intertwined. Your great, well, I'm not exactly sure how many greats that would be. Some distant grandfather of yours started the mine, which started the town. The town nearly collapsed into ruin after the collapse of 1918, and once again your family pulled it back up. Now, here we are. I'm not sure what else there is to say. What do you want to know? The collapse. You're talking about the mines, right? That's right. The town lost so many souls that day. Men and boys. This was before child labor laws came into effect in these parts. As if the collapse wouldn't have been bad enough tragedy on its own, there had to be children involved. If you've been to the library, I'm sure Oscar filled you in on the details. That mural is hard to miss, after all. It seems your family avoided most of the blame, especially since they managed to pull the town back together afterward. Hard to remember to be angry at someone when they're the reason you have food on your table. So our mine is the whole reason this town exists? I'd say so. If it fails, I'm not sure anybody would be able to stick around for long. That being said, I suppose everything has to end eventually. One shouldn't plan on things to continue on exactly the same forever. Is it really just me and Tabitha? Why are there so few of us left? I suppose fate is crueler to some than to others. In a lot of ways, your family has been very fortunate. But the Scarlets have seen their fair share of death as well. Maybe more than their fair share. That big house. We must have been loaded. Do you think we're still loaded? It's really not my place to speculate about people's finances, but you've seen the estate of the place. I think that speaks for itself. Change the subject. What do you think about Tabitha? She works too hard, but I suppose it's the burden she carries, what with your family's mind to run. It can't be doing her any good, though I'm sure that has something to do with her disposition, bless her heart. I'm not going to ask about Mr. Sybil. What do you think of Stella? Such a ray of sunshine. Even with everything that's happened to her, she tries to smile through it all, and an admirable young woman, if you ask me. Continue in silence. What the? Hello? The two of you are interrupted by a woman jogging towards you. It's the doctor! Joan, wonderful to see you, as always. Have you met Kelpie? You leave your son alone? That will make sense later. Sybil. And no, we haven't met. Joan here is our resident doctor, and Kelpie is Vivian's kid, of course, in town for the funeral. I put that together. Nice to meet you, Joan. That's Dr. Kelly to you. People my son's age don't get first-name privileges. How is Reese doing? Any better these days? Dr. Kelly lets out a small, frustrated sigh. He's surviving, same as usual, you know that. Your son has a rare condition. Do you make a habit of sharing that kind of private information with anyone who wanders into town? Tell him Kanika says hello. I get the feeling she and Stella miss seeing him. Oh, you know, since you're here, maybe you should set them up for a visit this week. Doesn't that sound nice? Kelpie could come too. Sybil, they're adults. We don't need to set them up on play dates, and you know how easy it is for him to tire himself out. It's not worth it. I need to get home and get him his meds. I can't stand around talking all day. Bye! The woman starts her jog again, her pace faster than before, almost as if she's running away from the awkward interaction. So would I. She's a bit of a brusque woman, isn't she? But her heart is in the right place, which is an interesting thing for you to say, given what I know and that what you guys will know eventually. Anyway, we should be on our way too. It's not much farther now. Go into the Hello? She was right. It takes very little time to reach the Scarlet Mines, Hollow Mines. A humble exterior greets you at the place that made your family its fortune. Your cousin just so happens to be at the gates, but it seems you aren't the only visitors she's dealing with at the moment. This is ridiculous. You can't fire me for having a damn cold. This has got to be some kind of, I don't know, rights violation. You aren't fired, Terrence. You're laid off. Cutbacks had to be made, and obviously I'm going to prioritize those cutbacks on workers who have a habit of... Oh, whoa. And obviously I'm going to prioritize those cutbacks on workers who have a habit of missing shifts. I had mono. I was puking my guts out. I couldn't crawl my sorry ass into that pit, and you wouldn't have wanted me there anyway. And you only give us 3 days a year to get sick. It's shit system. Wow, 3 days? You don't have a note from a doctor. I can't just take you at your word. If you wanted extra sick days, you had them with the proper paperwork. Don't forget, by not showing up, you put extra pressure on your coworkers to pick up your slack, and that's not fair to them. I mean, yes, but only 3 sick days? And if you have a tendency to get sick like that, maybe you shouldn't be working in a place like this to begin with. As for your lodgings, I'll give you 2 weeks to move out. To hell with you and your damn mind and the shit house you've had me living in. It'd all be better off a heap of rubble. The miner kicks the dirt in a final act of frustration but wanders off, leaving Tabitha standing steadfast at the gate. Sybil? Kelpie? What are you doing here? I wanted to have a word with your cousin here, and I had some business with you as well. Though it looks to me like you're busy, I wouldn't want to impose. Why don't you drop by the tea room sometime this week, Tabitha? Yeah, sure, I'll swing by tomorrow. Wonderful, I'll be on my way. But it was lovely meeting you, Kelpie. I'm sure we'll be seeing each other around town. The woman finally leaves, and you're alone with your cousin once again. Give me a second, I need to take a drink. My throat is raspy. Well, so much for you not intruding on my work. Come on, I guess I'll babysit you in my office. Ooh, we made it inside! Look at that! Banned. No! Okay, I get maybe banning Stella, but banning poor Gretchen. Just don't make yourself a burden, alright? I have a lot to do today. Who was that lady? I'm sure she introduced herself. Sybil runs the weird hippie tea room in town. Her daughter hates me. Honestly, I find her nosy and annoying, and I don't like that she decided to come up and see you without even asking me first. It's weird. What was all that layoff stuff about? That's nothing you have to worry about. Running a business isn't all sunshine and roses. Facts. In fact, it's almost never sunshine and roses. I don't know about presence in your house. Well, let's see. I think there's a presence in your house, Tabitha. A presence? What, like a ghost? Just because it's a creepy old house doesn't mean it's haunted. Not even Stella thinks it's haunted, or she'd be banging down my door to film some video in my house. In a building as big and old as the estate, there are going to be noises. It shifts in the wind. Doors slam on their own. You'll get used to it soon enough. Or you'd better, because I don't need you running to me every time you hear a creaky floorboard. I cleaned the guest bathroom. You what? But there could have been important stuff in there. Sure, it was messy, but it's not like it wasn't sanitary or anything. What gave you the right to throw things away just because they looked like trash to you? I don't appreciate people coming into my space and moving things around. Don't try to be helpful again, got it? Well, there goes that. I try to be friends and she hates me. Look at all the fly paper. If I'm the one using it, I get to decide how clean it's going to be. It was a health hazard. It was disgusting. You want to be a bitch? I'll be a bitch right back. As if. Pearl-Ann used that bathroom until the day she died, and besides the sleep apnea, she was fine. Whatever. Hopefully you've learned your lesson and we won't have this conversation again after you throw away precious fairly heirlooms thinking they're trash. You know, like the gross pus stuff that I threw away. Tabitha clears her throat, clearly still seething, but trying to cover it back up. I mean, I guess I kind of get it because that's a space that her mom used, but still she's acting a little like a bitch. I have to get back to work. Try not to bother me. I need to concentrate. She returns to her place behind the desk and proceeds to ignore you. As you settle in, you take in the details of her office. You're surprised to see a poster of what looks like Stella. She has probably been banned from the mines. Apparently. There are also a suspicious number of ordinary photos of her and Gretchen. Stella isn't the only likeness captured on the walls of your cousin's trailer. On either side of Tabitha's desk are portraits of older people, a woman and an old-timey man. One looks like the picture you've seen of Pearl-Ann. The other, you're not sure, but from context you assume he must also be an old relative. A shotgun? Wait, what? Oh yeah, okay, I saw it. A shotgun hangs menacingly over the desk. Besides that, there isn't much else to see. I really admired your leadership with that guy earlier. Yes, I'm good at my job. The Scarlets have cultivated generations of a certain kind of management style that has gotten the mine through very difficult times. You can't let people run all over you. Grandma Edie, learned that from Enoch, and she instilled it in Pearl-Ann, and Pearl-Ann instilled it in me. Vivian couldn't cut it. She would have been terrible at this. Why is there a poster of Stella saying she's banned from your property? Stella likes to poke around in places she shouldn't. She kept sneaking up here to film videos or whatever her excuse was. As if that's not a lawsuit waiting to happen, so she's banned. Who are those people on the wall? I'm sure you recognize Perland at this point. And the other one is Enoch, our great-great-grandfather, who saved the mine from ruin after the collapse. The idea was to have all the family members who owned the mines up on this wall, but I don't think Perland was too excited to have great-grandma Edie staring down at her all day, so we're missing one. Can't blame her. I remember that woman well enough to know why she didn't want the reminder. Why is there a gun in here? Oh, it's Perland's. She thought it was intimidating. It's a little old-fashioned, though, don't you think? When I took over the mines, I never really took the time to renovate, and now that she's dead, I don't know, it feels wrong to change anything. At least until she's in the ground. Why am I telling you this? God, you really talk a lot, don't you? You never called Perland Mom. We didn't have that kind of relationship. Rough. I learned there was a big mine collapse up here once. Do you think something like that could ever happen again? Of course not. That only happened because of someone else's negligence. We don't make those kinds of mistakes, especially not with current mining technology. Our family trusted a man who we shouldn't have trusted. Charles Shaw. He cut corners, used cheap and damaged materials. People died because of him. So we never hired someone else from outside the family to help run this place ever again. And what do you know? We've never come close to having another collapse. I might be what people consider a tough boss, but I run a tight ship, and that's how you avoid accidents. Are the miners working in the same mine that collapsed? Did they have to dig out people's bodies? No. That particular shaft has been boarded up ever since. Most of the bodies weren't able to be recovered, not without the risk of making more. This is a difficult line of work. The men all know that. Sit quietly and let her work. I don't really want to bring up the Sybil thing with her. You sit for a few long minutes. Tabitha taps away at her keyboard. The pleasant bird song you're used to hearing as the constant backdrop of Scarlet Hollow has been replaced with the distant sounds of machinery, muffled as it is by Tabitha's thin office walls. And then the sounds of machinery are joined by another sound. The angry rumbling of your stomach. Oh, that's right! I didn't go get scones! Do you have any food? Tabitha sighs. I left you food at the estate. Why didn't you eat before you came out here? If you really can't wait, then go find something at the cafeteria. It's the building with a big cafeteria sign on it. Try not to get lost. Oh, and bring me back something, too, while you're at it. They have a mac and cheese I don't hate. Yay, I'm on a mission. You get up, leaving Tabitha's office, and once again stepping out into the fresh air. They have a mac and cheese I don't hate is a great sentence. This cafeteria sign is not as obvious as Tabitha made it out to be. All the gray, corrugated buildings look vaguely the same. You aren't quite sure what direction you should start heading in. Get directions from a nearby group of miners. Hi, people. You approach the nearest group of miners. You could cut to the chase and ask where the cafeteria is, but you are here among the workers, unsupervised. What's the harm in asking if any of them have seen anything unusual? You got a reason to be bothering us? Hey! Hey there, I'm Tabitha's cousin. Yeah, we can put two and two together. We saw you wandering in with the boss. How can we help you? Seen anything weird lately? The miners look you up and down. Weird how? Like, weird animal sightings? Nope. You've been talking to that townie? The one the boss gave a lifetime ban to? Yeah, she's like a Bigfoot YouTuber or something. Her videos are actually pretty good. But you know, now that I think about it, it is pretty weird. I haven't been seeing many animals at all lately. Used to be I'll see all sorts of critters, now it's mostly birds. This is your first year up here, ain't it? Just not used to the seasons changing. All the animals are hibernating after all. I don't know, she's got a point. I've been up here 5 years now, and it's never been like this before. Ha, maybe it's that global warming then. I think they're calling it climate change now. Have you heard any weird noises coming from the woods? Not a peep. We're underground most of the day, though. You know, I heard something unusual the other night. Thought it might have been an owl or something, but it didn't sound right. It was an owl. You're just not used to the local wildlife yet. Miners getting sick? Like, more than usual? Nope, nothing like that. I feel fit as an ox. We have good working conditions in the mine, and our health is fully looked after. I've got a couple other questions. Do you know anything about a guy named Wayne? Yeah, we knew him. He was such a cut-up. Missed that dude. Why are you talking about him in the past tense? I met him last night. Wait, what? No way. Isn't that the guy y'all said was, well, I guess he ain't, and he hasn't even skipped town, huh? A pretty unexpected turn of events, if you ask me. What a relief. Thought something awful had happened to the poor guy. Press them. What'd you think happened to him? Ain't our place to talk about it, least of all not with Voss' cousin. I'm looking for the cafeteria. I'm not brave enough, maybe not in this run, to be, like, pressing too much. I'm looking for the cafeteria. I'm going to do you a favor and not tell you where it is. Oh, come on, Zax, go easy on them. I am going easy on them. The caf is slop. You're better off grabbing a bite at the diner, only good establishment in town. I don't know, the mac and cheese is pretty decent. The mac and cheese is the only thing that's decent, and we all know why that is. Come on, let's get out of here. Our shift's about to start anyway. So much for getting a straight answer. The cafeteria remains a hidden treasure, and you remain without a map. Well, if it isn't the boss cousin, can we help you with something? Do any of you know a man named Wayne? Wayne? Do you mean Sam Wayne? What are you asking about him for? Wait, have you seen him? I saw him last night. Really creepy encounter, man. Oh, thank God. Everyone thought he was dead. Now, hold on. Creepy doesn't exactly sound like Wayne, does it? How do you know it was him? The name on his jacket. Wayne. Just like yours says Smith. So do all of our jackets, but if I switch with Isaac's, that don't make me Isaac's. No, it's gotta be him. There's no way he's dead. You really think he's running around town creeping on strangers and ignoring his friends and coworkers? Seems more likely to me that somebody took care of him, so to speak, and is running around with his clothes. The miners stand in silence for a moment, considering what they just heard. That's not possible. That's ridiculous. This is messed up. But who would do something like that? I don't know. Why don't you ask his girlfriend? Yikes, do you think? No way. Just saying, he wasn't exactly the first fella to fall for her, charms. We didn't really get anything about this girlfriend in my other playthrough either, so I don't know if we'll get anything more concrete about this person. Lots of heartbreak in that woman's history, lots of jilted ex-lovers, if you catch my drift. I told him not to get involved with her. I told him. Who was Wayne seeing? Whoa, now. If you don't know, there's no way I'm poking that wasp's nest. Forget we said anything. Yeah. I don't want to be next on the chopping block. Press them. Come on, don't dangle something like that. Look, I just don't want to cause any trouble. Enough people are losing their jobs as is. I've got mouths to feed. Losing their jobs, and in Sam Way's case, disappearing. We've already said too much. Come on, boys. As Smith and Rogers turn to leave, Isaacs hesitates. I'll be just a minute, guys. You're free and roll, man. I wanted to ask you something in private. I'm about to grab something from the caf, if you don't mind joining. Yay! How serendipitous! You still don't know where the cafeteria is, but this haggard young man has, of his own accord, offered to share his wisdom with you. We appreciate that. I was actually looking for the cafeteria. Great, let's walk. You follow the hard-faced young man, an anxious energy in his step, as he escorts you to a building whose cafeteria sign was definitely much smaller than Tabitha made it out to be. You line up at the steaming piles of subpar food, undoubtedly made as cheaply as possible, judging by your husband's business practices. Still, it smells good enough, and you find your mouth watering in anticipation of the bland offerings. You said something earlier about seeing Wayne. The man's voice is quiet and nervous. Did Tabitha see him? Did she say anything to you about him? I told you everything I know. Shit. Look, Sam Wayne is a friend of mine, and he's been missing for over a week now, and I seem to be the only person around here who gives a rat's ass about it. And I'd be willing to bet the last person who saw him was... Oh, are you talking about a certain young man who may or not have caught the boss eye? That Sam Wayne fellow, wasn't it? Whatever. If anyone asks, we never talked, got it? I don't want to disappear too. What's got that kid so jumpy? It's like he never heard of a guy running off because he got broke up with before. Yeah, oh my god, Wayne and Tabitha were an item? What? Yep, I've skipped town over less. Oh, it's my lucky day they got the chicken and dumplings. What do you guys know about this Wayne fellow? All I know is that a certain someone got involved with somebody he shouldn't have, and nobody in camp's seen him since. I figured he'd just run off to live in that big mansion with his belle. The thought of a strapping young man like him with that sour-faced broad always left such a bad taste in my mouth. As if you wouldn't fall on your knees if a woman of means showed the slight bit of interest in you, or any woman at all. Fair enough. Wayne seems... Wait, are you talking about Tabitha? Yep. You'd best get going. Wouldn't want that hot meal to go cold. No reason to stay here any longer. Interesting. You step back out into the weak sunlight, clutching the containers of various beige slops, and start making your way back toward her trailer. But you don't make it far before you're struck by an intense feeling. You recognize the hollow terror as the same thing you felt last night when you set eyes on that awful man in the miner's jacket. And he appears! Kelpie, I wish you could have stayed at the estate. It's dangerous here. What are you? Flesh and blood, much like yourself. Do not fear me. I am the only person in this town who truly cares about your safety. Don't forget that. Even if it's already too late to stop what's going to happen. Yeah? Where were you while I was being attacked by that mountain lion? I would have stepped in if the old man hadn't beaten me to it. Clearly I need to be closer to you. Walk back to Tabitha's office like nothing happened. You casually continue on your way, returning to the hill where Tabitha's trailer is perched. She meets you at the door. Took you long enough. What, was there a long line? I ran into that mysterious miner guy from last night. Wayne, he said mysterious things to me. How do you know it was the same guy? It's not like we got a good look. All we really saw was a jacket. A mining jacket. That all the miners wear. And this guy you ran into at the mines also had one because he is a miner who works here. If you want my opinion, I'd say they're playing some elaborate prank on you, which I will put an end to. But in the meantime, don't let them get to you so easy. Your cousin's attention is suddenly drawn elsewhere. She stares past you, focusing on something in the distance. Is that Stella? How many times do I have to tell her she's banned before she understands what that means? Tabitha shuts the door and you both march your way down the hill. As you and Tabitha approach, you're able to pick out snippets of Stella's conversation with the miners. Ditchlings, my grandma used to tell me stories about them, claims she saw one once and that's why she always had such bad luck. Johnson, I think that's the boss storming over. Is it now? Sure is. Suppose that's our cue. Pardon us. Tabby! Kelpie! Hey! I was just trespassing? Well, yeah. But I have a good reason this time. Shit. I knew I needed a lookout. Is there someone talking to you through that earpiece? Kanika, is that you on the other end? Stella hastily removes her earbud, muffling the other voice. Sorry, Tabby. It's just that Oscar's kid Rosalina has been missing since yesterday, so we decided to ask around to see if anybody had seen her, and while we were at it, we were also seeing if anybody had encountered these things we saw in the woods last night. Ditchlings, that Sybil said, are like little muffmen foretelling doom. Stella. And also there's this guy called Wayne who used to work here and who Kanika says is super creepy and sick, and Stella. Yeah? Just stop. Stop talking. It's not like I was filming or anything. I barely hear, I promise. You are standing right in front of me. Extremely here. Why didn't you check the usual teen haunts for that kid? The Maxwell place or the gas station or wherever, whatever. Anywhere but here where you are explicitly not allowed to be. I mean, it's the site of one of the worst catastrophes that ever befell the town. If there's another one coming, it makes sense, doesn't it? That's what our research pointed us towards, at least. Our research? Who's we? You and Kanika? Yeah, she would think something awful is going to happen up here. She hates me and everything I stand for and thinks the town would be some bustling utopia if I wasn't around to ruin it. When in reality, we both know it wouldn't exist without me. Whatever you're looking for, you're barking up the wrong tree, so just go someplace else before. Tabitha once again trails off. Both her and Stella have noticed the girl with the dark braid and glasses sneaking along the ridge. It's Rosalina! Kanika, we found her. She's headed up the hill. Up the hill? She's not headed for the old mine, is she? The one that collapsed? We'd better go after her before someone gets killed up there. You've got to be kidding me. No, this is great. I'll just go let her know Oscar's looking for her, and then we can get out of your hair. Bye, Tabby. See you around. Run away. Tabby's so scary. Stella hurries after the girl, disappearing over the hill. Damn it, I'm never going to finish my spreadsheets. Nobody needs to be playing around in those mines. We'd better go break this up. Ooh, I'm actually really liking having Tabitha more involved in the scenes that I already am aware of. Also, fuck this guy. Fuck this little guy sitting in the goddamn tree like a creep. You can vaguely hear voices emanating from the boarded-up entrance to the old mine. It's not very well. They went in? Does Stella have no sense of self-preservation? We've both met Stella. The answer is no, she does not. Also, taking a drink. We have to go in there, don't we? I don't like the thought of you walking around an abandoned coal mine, but I'd rather not leave you out here unattended while it's getting dark. You should be safe enough with me there to guide the way. Yay! Tabitha huffs her way up to the mine entrance and disappears into the darkness. Follow her. We follow her and enter the mine. The inside of the mine is warmer than you'd expected, the air thick and wet. The ceiling hangs much lower than you are tall, forcing you and Tabitha to hunch over, your legs bent in a painful squat as you begin to navigate its maze of corridors. After this, your glutes will look fantastic. I take it you know which mine we're in. I take it you're going to tell me either way. I am. This is the one you asked me about earlier, the one where a collapse killed 168 people. A man named Charles Shaw decided it was okay to use faulty wood for support struts, and the entire mine came down. It almost ruined our family. A lucky few died instantaneously, but for most of the souls who perished here, it was slow and agonizing, trapped under rubble and left to slowly succumb to crush injuries or burns, or dehydration. It took a week to clear out most of the rubble and recover the bodies. The few survivors who were dragged out were never the same. Can't say I blame them. You've spent a lot of time thinking about this place, haven't you? I have. There are still bodies down here that were never recovered. 168 people climbed down to their deaths that day, unaware of the hand they'd been dealt, until they were literally buried by it. None of us know the price we have to pay until our debt is due. Tabitha's ruminations are interrupted by a thunderous knock echoing from deeper in the mine. A hateful and broken presence stirs in the deep. It doesn't want you here. What the hell was that? Probably another delinquent looking for a lifetime ban from my property. Come on, it came from this way. I think sometimes situationally the mystical or mythical is not going to help the matters much. Tabitha hastens her pace and quickly disappears deeper into the mine, so I'm not always going to click them. The keen eye is really nice, though. Follow her. You take a deep breath and follow suit. The deeper you progress into the mine, the heavier the air becomes. Coal dust hangs in the thick clouds around you, even though this place was abandoned over a century ago. Echoing through the tight corridors, you and Tabitha can pick up snippets of a tense argument. I can't believe your dad sent people to follow you. That's messed up. I think that qualifies as harassment. You're right, Becca. It is messed up. I don't need him telling me where I can be. You could at least check in so he knows you're not dead. He loves you and worries about you. He's really not asking for much. Come on, kiddos. There's some real spooky stuff going on in town right now. You shouldn't be hanging out down here. We're not kids. Yeah, we're teens, because that makes so much difference. Well, you look like a bunch of kids to me. Are those canned strawberry margaritas? Where did you even get those? Oh no. I know that isn't you, Miles. It had better not be. Yeah, whatever, it's me. What are you gonna even doing here? Looks like we found our trespassers. I still can't believe that Stella managed to drag Kanika out here. She avoids me like the plague. What's the deal with you and Kanika? Honestly, I have no idea. I don't hold anything against her aside from the fact that she's always hated me. She probably just got jealous that Stella and I started spending time together, but that was years ago, so who knows. What do you think of Kanika? I think the two of us are more alike than she'd ever care to admit. I respect her, but don't tell her I said that. I wouldn't want to appear weak. I think she just hates our family. She doesn't know our family. She knows me, barely. I mean, it more in the sense that she hates what our family represents. This town has a bloody history to it, and coal is a dirty business. And that doesn't mean it's my fault. What am I supposed to do? Close the mine and let everyone lose their jobs? I've given up on other people understanding me. It doesn't matter. Let's move on. They're close. Hello, all of you idiots. You breathe a sigh of release as the tight passageways give way to a small cavern. Within, a group of teens engage Stella and Kanika in a heated argument. All of them are too caught up in the moment to notice you or Tabitha approach. My dad is a foreman at the continuous mining facility, and he says they only abandoned this mine because there wasn't enough coal left, so it's actually really safe, and we can hang out here whenever we want. Wait, Becca, I thought your dad was a charge hand. No, Alexis, he got promoted last month. Correction. Your father was a foreman at the continuous mining facility. We'll see if he even has a job in the morning. What? Oh, shit. Oh, hey, Tabby. And Kelpie, I guess you two caught up to us. 2 Scarlets in one place. What luck? Well, at least maybe you two can talk some sense into these kids. They clearly don't respect my authority. Hey, don't talk about us like we aren't here. Yeah, we can hear you. Alexa, don't butt in. I'm trying to make a point. Do none of you understand what a boarded-up mine entrance is supposed to mean? It means it's closed, condemned, not fit for human use. Aw, come on, this place is way dirty. Check it out. The teen with the beanie jumps up and slaps a strut on the ceiling. Oh, was that the knocking we were hearing earlier? Oh my god, Zane, cut it out, you're embarrassing us. I'm sorry for Zane's behavior. I don't think he realizes how extremely 8th grade it is to jump up and hit things. No offense, Rosalina. None taken, the other 8th graders are totally immature. Not like you, Rosalina, you're chill, and smart too. Teens, enough. The damage is already done. Now leave. I am putting my mother in the ground this week. I do not have the patience to deal with children. Can't believe I actually agree with Tabitha about anything, but this is the worst place I've ever been in my entire life, and I would like to see the sun again before I die. Oh, come on, you guys. Maybe it's not a big deal. We used to do dangerous things all the time, and I still do dangerous things now. Who are we to tell them where they can hang out? I don't know who you think you are in this situation, Stella, but I own this mine. It is entirely within my rights to tell them to leave. Much like it is entirely within my rights to tell you to leave. Was your lifetime ban from my mines not a clear enough message for you? Hell yeah! Tabitha, tear this sad 20-something to shreds! Hey, I'm defending you, and I'm not sad. Where'd you get that idea? Running a clickbaity YouTube channel where you run around in the woods chasing nothing is extremely sad. So she's sad. So what? Give it a few years and you'll be sad too. The passage of time is inescapable. Look, we just wanted to give Rosalina a good time. Her home life sucks right now. Yeah, tell them about where you have to sleep, Rosalina. We've been living in the library for the past couple weeks. Dad says we can't stay at our house. They've got a hot plate and a couple cots in one of the back rooms. It's actually a pretty sick setup. No, it isn't, Zane. Rosalina deserves better. I don't care about your home life. If you're going to do your underage drinking, go do it in the woods. Just get off my property. Tabitha. Look, Rosalina, I'm sure Oscar has a good reason for all that. He's a good guy and he cares about you. He thinks our house is haunted. Oh. Wait, what? And I should care because it's such a bullshit excuse. I bet he couldn't afford it anymore and is lying to you to save face. What a coward. Becca, I don't think you can, say that about other people's families. Isn't that, bullying or something? Shut up, Zane. Back up. He says it's haunted. I can't believe you didn't mention it to me. I could investigate. There's no ghost, Stella. It would be cool if there was, but Becca's right. I just wish he would be honest with me and tell me what's really going on. It's like he doesn't think I can handle it. Like I'm still a little kid. You're all children, and none of you realize how good you have it. Back in the day, each and every one of you would be pulling 12-hour shifts in this exact mine. If it weren't for child labor laws, the 5 of you might have actual character. Exactly, Rosalina's not that mature anyway, she still sleeps with stuffed animals. That doesn't mean she's not mature. I still have pork chop, you know. I rest my case. Wait, what did you say about child labor? I'm not going to weigh in on this. This is between you and your dad, and the two of you should talk about it when anywhere that isn't here. I couldn't agree more. Yeah, if Rosalina's house is haunted, we should break in and, ghost bust it or something. Sounds pretty rad to me. Whatever gets you delinquents out of my mind. Oh my god, Zane, you can't ghost bust if there is no ghost. Also, Rosalina lives there. She can't break into her own house. There's no ghost that you know of. I bet we could figure out how to bust it if it's actually real, and if it isn't real, well, problem solved. You know, Rosalina, you could always stay over at my house until Stella ghost busts your place. We have a finished basement with a pull-out couch. Why are we talking about this like it's a thing? It's not a thing. There is no ghost. I don't care, and I can't believe I've wasted this much time trying to argue with children. I'm washing my hands of this and calling the cops. Feel free to leave before they show up. You hear that, Miles? We're leaving. I suggest the rest of you kids leave this empty mine before someone gets black lung, or gets crushed by rocks, or meets one of many terrible fates people tend to meet in abandoned mines. Kanika is interrupted by a pair of thunderous knocks. That wasn't me, I swear. Then what was it? Come on, Stella, didn't you have a whole list of perfectly natural explanations for scary mine noises? It's Tommyknockers, for sure. I know this isn't why we came down here, but we've got to check it out. They're an old Cornish myth, named for the knocking sound you can sometimes hear in mines right before a collapse. Some say the knocking's a warning, while others say it's the spirits themselves bringing down the mines. Stella. I mean, that's not all they do. They're also sometimes just mischievous. Stella. Nobody's going deeper into the mine. Nobody's staying in the mine. You're all leaving. You hear something over the sound of Stella pleading with Kanika and Tabitha. Something like the shuffling of feet on stone and the whispering of mischievous teens. Turn around and catch them in the act. You turn to see Becca and Alexis gone, and Rosalina crawling into a small tunnel in the cavern wall, but she hastens her movements when her eyes fall on you. Rosalina, stop! But she doesn't listen to you, instead slipping into the tunnel and joining her friends. Well, I've tried. And that's all I can do. Unbelievable. Ah, teens. You're kidding me. Really? Wow, Kanika, maybe if you weren't still scared of the dark or whatever, you would have noticed them sneak off. I noticed them sneak off, and like, I've been zoned out the whole time we've been here. Ugh, they must have squeezed through that child-sized tunnel. Dang, I've always wondered where that goes. I've never been able to get these hips through there. Stella, stop sneaking to my mines. Please, I am literally begging you. If only all the tunnels down here were wide enough for adults, we could already be done with this mess. But no, there just have to be remnants from a bygone era. Oh, didn't you just talk about how child labor was the good old days a minute ago? I was trying to get you to leave my mine. Becca's head pops out from the tunnel's entrance. We are not about to let you come in here and ruin our good time. The mine is safe. I've been here 1,000,000 times. Yeah, if Becca says we're safe, then we're totally safe. Whatever, come on you two, I know a cool spot this way. Okay, I think I know where that tunnel rejoins the rest of the mines. I'll go look for them, and I want each and every one of you to take note of the fact that I'm doing that. If those idiots get themselves lost and die, I am not letting their families sue me into the ground. Are those really your priorities right now? Yeah. Do you have a problem with that? I want the rest of you out of my mine. Except for you, Kelpie, I'm not letting you out of my sight. Yeah, sure, I could never fit in that tunnel anyway. They have crossed a barrier that I cannot, so my time here is up. But only because Stella promised me a ghost hunt tomorrow. Whatever, I still have to do my dailies anyways, and the service down here sucks. I will happily escort these two knuckleheads out. No, you are not about to weasel your way into this, Stella. Aw, come on, Tabby, I've been down here a ton, I can totally help out. Tabitha sighs. There's no getting rid of you, is there? Fine. I won't waste my time arguing. Let's be on Tabitha's side, because she's right. Like, this is private property, this is dangerous, and, you know, we haven't had a good track record of episode 1, so I'm scared of episode 2. Stella, don't push Tabitha's boundaries like that. I don't need you to fight my battles for me, Kelpie. It's fine. Stella can tag along. There's no way around it. It isn't just those kids. Something is calling out to us from down below. Noted. Let's not linger any longer than we have to, shall we? Want me to take Gretchen with me? I don't know if it'll be easier to cover more ground without her. Yeah, that's probably for the best. I don't want a repeat of last night, and who knows if we'll have to do any climbing. Gretchen! I'll see you on the other side, hopefully soon. For sure, we won't be long. Cool, can't wait to bust some ghosts tomorrow. Glad to know I have plans. Kanika, Miles, and Zane head toward the entrance of the mines, leaving you, Tabitha, and Stella to find the remaining teens. Alright, no dawdling. We should be able to catch up with them if we go this way. Venture deeper! Onward! As the three of you move deeper into the mine, you hear echoes of conversation bouncing across the walls. Becca, why are we doing this again? I thought you thought Tabitha was, like, really cool. Why are you trying to get her all mad? We're doing this because Tabitha is really cool. She doesn't let anyone boss her around, so we can't just let her boss us around. Aw, you hear that, Tabby? Someone thinks you're cool. I can't believe she used to hang out with a nobody like Stella. Lol. Hey! I don't know, I think Stella's kind of cool. Her videos are really neat. Oh, come on, she doesn't even have a sponsor. What kind of a YouTuber doesn't have a sponsor? I mean, not yet, but I'm in talks with Meat Rice, and I make plenty from ads and donations. How does it feel to have a teen girl think you're cool, Tabitha? I feel nothing about it. The opinions of children don't interest me. Sure they don't. I don't know, you kind of hesitated there. You're reading into things that aren't there, Stella. Just because your livelihood revolves around what people think of you doesn't mean that I care what people think of me. Congratulations on your sponsor, though. I'm just glad they're not gossiping about me. Yeah, I know they're just teens, but some of that stuff stung. Another knock. Closer. Interrupts your thoughts. Followed by another. Followed by another. Is it just me, or is that knocking coming from the same direction as those kids? It's not just you. Okay, that knocking is starting to freak me out. Calm down, Rosalina. It's just mind sounds. Did you guys see that? No, it was just a shadow. There's no reason to get freaked out. I saw it. Shut up. There's nothing down here. Stop trying to scare me. Are we sure the tunnel they went through is going to meet back up with us? Yes, I'm familiar with all the old maps of this place. There should be a central chamber not too far from here, where everything joins back up. I can't believe they're making us do this. They better get grounded when this is all said and done. As much as I appreciate the sentiment, I hope you're wrong. If they get grounded, it means people found out about this. I hate dealing with parents. Look on the bright side, Kelpie. If they didn't come down here, we'd have missed out on a golden opportunity to get spooked. Tabitha glares at Stella. We're getting closer. Let's keep moving. As you progress deeper into the mine, the knocking grows more frequent. It's still distant, but it's much louder than before. The tunnel ends abruptly in front of you. A century-old ladder is the only way forward. In the darkness beyond, you can still hear the echoes of terrified teens, their panicked arguing bouncing down the pitch-black corridor. The pit radiates rage, a white-hot rage, a white-hot anger. It hates you. But at the heart of it, you can sense something else, the quiet hum of a darker presence. The heart calls to you, desperate to be witnessed. And here we are. The tunnel they crawled through passes through the chamber below. It shouldn't be hard to find them once we get down there. I've never been this far in. Congratulations, Stella. You got what you wanted. Tabitha crawls up to the ladder and disappears over its edge. Alright, let's do this. Stella hoists herself over the edge and begins the climb down. You walk to the ladder and climb down. Yay! Deep underground adventures. I'm pretty sure this is the way back. Come on. Pretty sure? I thought you'd been down here before. Okay, maybe I didn't get this far in, but whatever. It doesn't matter. I definitely remember the way out. Hurry, I don't want to be down here anymore. I think it was actually this way. Oh, shut up. No one even wanted you to come with us anyway. Becca! Yep, they're close alright. Good thing they're so damn loud. It sounds like they're really lost. The voices around you, those of the teens and your companions, sound odd, distant. Step forward. There is something in the darkness before you that's much louder, though you don't hear it. Walk towards it. You don't hear it, but you can feel it in your chest, a desperate need to perceive and be perceived. Hey, are you alright, Kelpie? Bear witness. What do you think you're doing? Get away from there! Your cousin dives towards you, but not before the light from your phone illuminates the chamber. You said we wouldn't use this shipment. You know it's compromised. We couldn't afford to wait on new wood, Charles. We had to go ahead with it. Oh, I don't think that was part of the one that I witnessed before. It's still sturdy enough. It'll get the job done. Oh, okay, so I'm learning earlier than last time that Charles Shaw's not the one who decided to use it. Kelpie, are you alright? Oh, thank God you're alive. It looks like you had a seizure or something, and then you and Tabby just conked out. Oh my God, Tabitha saw the same thing, maybe? I'm fine. Ugh. You can barely open your eyes. You're not fine. Neither of you move a muscle. I don't want you straining yourselves while you're still recovering from whatever that was. I'm going to get you both some help. I'll be back soon, I promise. Oh my god, that's really crazy. I didn't think about that. The fact that Tabby is a Scarlet too, so she probably would be affected the same that I am. You fade back out of consciousness as your companion clambers out of the pit, intent on your rescue. Jesus Christ, that scared me. You raise up on your elbows, head still swimming from the visions, your surroundings coming back into focus. Your head throbs as the knocking continues. The now magnitude's more intense than ever. It's so loud. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. It's aggressive. Through it, you once again hear the panicked voices of bickering teens echoing down the stone corridor. Becca, you're just getting us more lost. It's this way. If you're so sure, then why don't you just leave? I can't believe I let Alexis talk me into inviting you in the first place. Becca, I'm just trying to help. I said, go. Okay, I will. Alexis, you don't have to go with her, you know that, right? Pick a side, Alexis. I'm sure Becca knows where we're going. She wouldn't just lie. Sorry, Rosalina. The increasingly desperate voices of the teens are drowned out by the thunderous knocking. You can practically feel the ground shake beneath you. You can almost see the walls vibrate with the intensity of the hellish sound. You can't help but notice the timber struts around you trembling, as if they were being struck by invisible blows with each knock. They're all that stand between you and the many tons of rock over your head, and they suddenly seem terribly fragile. God, that knocking is not helping my headache. What the hell just happened? Both of us were shown the dark truth of this place, the sins that were committed, the deaths that followed. There's gotta be fumes or something down here. It's an old mine. These places are death traps. We probably just hallucinated. Are you literally gaslighting me? I said I saw it too. Stop being weird. We're leaving. Rosalina appears in the passageway to your left, out of breath and teary-eyed. I'm so sorry I snuck off like that. I just wanted Alexis to think I was cool. The entire cavern shakes with the sound of rockfall. I don't know what the hell is up with this knocking, but that is the sound of a mine collapse. Quick, up that ladder, both of you. Wait! Becca and Alexis are still down there. You can't just leave them here. I know which way they were going. They'll listen to you this time, I promise. Do you have a death wish, little girl? This isn't a movie. The best we can do to help those girls right now is to not be buried alive ourselves. Yeah, take Rosalina and leave. You reach towards Rosalina. I'm so sorry, but there's nothing we can do about this. People who know what they're doing can come back for them after we're all safe. What if they don't make it? What if this is the only chance we have to help them? They already crossed that bridge. You can cross it too if you want. I don't care. Rosalina hesitates for a moment. Alexis! Becca! The way out is this way. If you just follow my voice, you'll be able to make it out. Okay, let's go. She grabs your hand and the two of you start climbing. This way, come on. Your cousin moves with the kind of swiftness you'd expect from someone who spent her entire life living life in and around coal mines. Becca, Alexis, can you still hear me? The knocking drowns out Rosalina's desperate shouts as the three of you crawl closer and closer to the entrance. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I left you guys. It's deafening now, as if someone was trying to break through the walls with fists of iron. You continue to push forward, your burning muscles giving way to pure adrenaline. Then comes the sound of splintering wood. You pick up the pace. The entrance is so close. I'm so sorry. And there it is. Freedom. Oh, the silence. The semi-silence. After all that knocking is crazy. Ugh, give me a second, I gotta stretch. That was tense. The three of you manage to squeeze through the entrance just as the walls of the mine come crashing down. Alexis. Do you think the other two... maybe they got out? It's possible, right? Maybe there's another entrance or something? Or maybe they're still alive in there. Oh, God. I'm so sorry. Rosalina, are you okay? Your dad's on his way. He should be here any minute. I'm so sorry. I'm going back to camp. I'll bring back some men, and they can start digging. I'll call Earl. It takes a bit of time, but eventually, Tabitha arrives with men and a machine to start digging through the rubble. You, Stella, and Kanika are afforded a quiet moment to yourselves as the others get to work. Do you think Becca and Alexis are going to be okay? There were survivors in the last collapse. At least Rosalina is safe. Thank God. If you and Tabby didn't pull Rosalina out when you did, you all might have wound up buried down there. I think you did the right thing. There was a stone carving on the wall of that pit. It gave me some sort of vision. I saw what happened to this place. The Scarlets caused the old collapse. Charles Shaw was set up. No way. Dude was a monster. I mean, the Scarlets were monsters too. They still are. What am I saying? Visions aren't real. Visions can't be real. That would be magic. I don't know, Neeks. You weren't down there. Kelpie and Tabby had, like, simultaneous seizures next to a creepy stone carving. It was like something out of a movie. I saw something down there, like the shadows of dead miners. They were right behind you just before you left. Did you not see them? Whoa, I didn't see anything other than the two of you in that carving. That's super weird. I don't want to doubt what you've experienced, but you were deep in a dark, abandoned coal mine. You might have just been primed to see things. You know, now that I think about it, that totally fits the profile for some of the Tommyknocker stories. What if they're actual bona fide ghosts? Oh, Stella. Everything that happened down there centered around that main chamber, where I saw that carving. Stella showed me a photo. Weird stuff. Yeah, really weird. What happens now? Hey guys, I don't think she's quite ready to talk just yet. What happened down there? Rosalina made it out of there because she stood up for herself. You should be proud. She's a good kid, Oscar. Thanks. There's something terrible in that mine. I think it was Tommyknockers. I can't believe they're actually real, but I got some audio of the knocking on my phone. They must have been furious that we went down there. This is all my fault. She's been so angry with me. If I'd just been able to provide more stability, she wouldn't be doing things like this, putting herself in danger. Rosalina told us you two have been living in the library. I think she was trying to get away from that. Oscar sighs. Rosalina told you that? Yes, it's true. But you have to understand there's something in that house. We believe you, Oscar. I couldn't let it hurt her, and since I didn't know how to get rid of it, I set up a back room at the library for us. Just until I could figure out how to fix things. I know she hates it, but I thought it would be better for her. Instead, it just drove her away, staying with friends, not checking in, and now this. It's all because of that house. And because of me. Because I haven't been able to fix this. I just wish she could understand. I'll put the spirit to rest. We can perform a seance tomorrow night. Yeah, we'll do whatever it takes, Oscar. Okay, I'm into. I'm like, this is a lot of mythical shit going on. Thanks, you guys. That really means a lot. I shouldn't have kept this to myself, but I was so afraid of seeming ridiculous. I've literally been saying stuff like this the entire time I've been here, for the 2 days. Dad, you must be so mad at me. Oh, Rosa, no. Of course I'm not mad at you. Do you think that maybe they got out? Maybe there's another exit somewhere? Rosalina. I should have pushed back harder. I knew the way out. I should have made them come with me. I just don't want them to be dead. I'm so sorry, Dad. You don't have to be sorry. You're alive and you're safe. We couldn't have gone back for them, right? We wouldn't have made it out if we went back. You're right. We wouldn't have made it out if we went back for them. They don't deserve to be down there. Why should I have made it out when they didn't? This isn't about what people deserve, Rosa. You have no idea how grateful I am that you're still here. It's not fair, Dad. It's just not fair. I know, Rosa, I know. But I think the best thing you can do for your friends right now, until we get them out of there, is to enjoy the life you have. I know I've made things easy for you, and you've been frustrated with the choices I've made. but I'm gonna do what it takes to move us back into our house. We're gonna have a good life again, Rosa. I'm sorry I didn't do this sooner. I'm sorry this is what it took. Dad, we're on the case. We'll be okay, I promise. I'm going to take her home. I guess we'll see the three of you tomorrow. And thank you, Kelpie. You have no idea how much I appreciate what you did for Rosalina. As Oscar and Rosalina leave, your cousin exhaustedly saunters over to you. Alright, Kelpie. My men are set up to start digging. Let's go home and get some rest. Now hold on a minute, Miss Scarlet. Mind if we have a quick word with your cousin, miss? In private? Okay, fine, just make it quick. And don't you dare try and pull anything on them. They did nothing wrong here. Ladies, I'm afraid that means you two. Don't you need to talk to us? We witnessed this too. Oh sure, but that can wait. We know where to find y'all. Hi, cops that think for some odd reason I'm doing shit. Sorry, hydrating. What a coincidence, running into you 2 nights in a row. This is my colleague, Deputy Derrickson. Pleased to meet you, Kelpie. Apologies for my absence yesterday. It was my special bowling night, you see. A man has to have his me time. I mean, I get that, to be fair. But I was briefed on the events of last night, even though we're still not sure what it was, if what went on could be considered a crime. Duke has been missing since then, though we found neither hide nor hair of him. Could he be he's just on an extended hunting trip? It wouldn't be the first time he's done something like that. I was told the footage showed his supposed body, but we couldn't get that camera working, so no way to confirm until we track him down. Now, I understand both of these were terribly unfortunate accidents that had nothing to do with you being in the area, but as officers of the law, you have to understand that we get a little suspicious when we see the same face multiple times in a row. And, we have to ask, what exactly were these teenagers doing in a shuttered mine owned by your family? And why were you down there with them? You've got to understand where we're coming from. 2 kids, 15 and 14, are buried alive down there, and maybe they're dead. And you were on the premises. Whether or not that was merely coincidence remains to be seen, but we've got to do our diligence here. We saw some teens sneak into an abandoned mine, so we went after them. We were just trying to do the right thing. Of course, very noble of you. Partner questions, just trying to gather all the facts, you see. Just being thorough. Our duty as officers of the law. Well, if there's nothing more you can tell us, I suppose we'll let you go on about your evening, but we may be in touch. Have a good one. You're welcome. Deputy Derrickson tips his hat to you. The 2 officers wander back toward the mine, Derrickson taking notes as they examine the scene. Because I definitely have a way to collapse an entire mine all by my lonesome. You make your way towards Stella and Kanika. I just can't believe 2 nights in a row. Is it my fault, Eeks? Stella, no. This is all just an awful coincidence. It's not your fault. Oh, hey, guess the cops are done with you? What, are they gonna take you in for being present at an accident? Sorry if they gave you a hard time. Small-town cops, you know. Always blame everything on drifters, even acts of God, I guess. Excellent, you didn't get arrested. No, come on, let's get back to the estate. I'd like to get some rest before I have to deal with the fallout of everything that happened tonight. I'll see you tomorrow, okay, Kelpie? Tomorrow? You have already ruined my evenings on 2 consecutive nights, Stella. What do you think you'll be doing with my cousin tomorrow? We're going ghost hunting at Oscar's, remember? We talked about it in the mines. You were there. I didn't think you were serious. Kelpie, you have her number, right? Keep me posted on what she's doing. Let me know if that ghost hunt actually happens. It's weird that you care about what she's doing so much. Clearly, I have to. Come on, let's go. Tabitha starts walking to her car, pulling you by the arm. See you tomorrow, guys! You can practically feel Tabitha roll her eyes as she drags you to the car. You can't stop me from having friends, Tabitha. Tabitha doesn't say a word as the car cuts along the darkened road. I am glad, though, that, to have her being part of these things. I'm kind of hoping that as we go through each of the playthroughs, that we'll then find, an optimal situation of how do we, is it the best thing to have Tabitha present for everything? Or stuff like that. Tabitha doesn't say a word as the car cuts along the darkened road. Try to keep an eye on the surrounding wilderness as she drives, wary of what may lurk behind the tree line. Sorry about today. Tabitha doesn't answer. Drop it. You drop it. Tabitha's eyes remain fixed on the road. Why do you treat Stella like that? Didn't you two used to be friends? It was a different time in my life. I just wish she'd get that we're not in high school anymore. I'm a different person than whoever she thinks she knows. How are you holding up? Poorly, but I'd really rather we didn't get into it. Do you think Becca and Alexis are okay? We won't know for days at the earliest. Their parents should have kept tighter reins on them. I never got into any trouble like this when I was a teen, and I have Pearl Ann to thank for it. Hated it at the time, but that strictness paid off. What am I telling you this for? Whoa, are we bonding? I guess? Sure. I don't really think the parents are to blame here. I beg to differ. People who aren't ready to be parents shouldn't be parents, and clearly there are some parents at fault for this who weren't ready. Take the librarian. There are tons of people more qualified to be parents who can't even conceive, and here he is having a kid at 19 and clearly letting her do just whatever the hell she wants. Why does it matter that he had a kid at 19? It's not fair. Do you want kids? Lots of people want kids. Ride in silence. Interesting. Learning more about Tabitha, trying to peel back those onion layers. I didn't read that, I'm so sorry. God, that was loud. You once again cross the threshold into the estate, the musty stench of the decaying mansion greeting you with its undertones of mildew and wood rot. Well, this day was a lot more stressful than it needed to be, and I'm sure it's the precursor to a horrifically stressful week. I'm going to bed. I suggest you do the same. I'll see you in the morning. Tabitha turns and makes her way up the stairs, her posture defeated. Turn in. You head up to your room to turn in. You collapse in Tabitha's dusty guest bed, your head empty of thoughts. After your time in the Shaw mine, you barely even notice the dust. Your phone buzzes on the table. Y'all, these are those things, right? Kanika sends a picture of a pair of ditchlings by the side of the road. I saw them again, too. Another picture, this time of them staring from a tree. What the fuck? Those things are definitely not hairless monkeys or raccoons or whatever. I don't know what the hell they are. I guess there's more to them being here than the mine collapse. No way I'm sleeping tonight. You think about looking out the guest room window, but at this point you're too exhausted to leave your bed. The adrenaline from this evening is finally wearing off, replaced by a creeping exhaustion that threatens to overwhelm you. Your limbs feel heavy, your eyelids slipping down over your eyes even as you stare down at the ominous pictures on your phone. If it weren't for the pit of dread balling in your stomach, you would almost feel comfortable as you settle in between the covers, your tired bones sinking into the decrepit mattress. When you close your eyes, your thoughts drift to Alexis and Becca, terrified and alone, if not already dead. Your eyes shoot back open, your heart pounding as the door to your room swings open. Just the cat. It's always just the cat. It's nice to see another living being, even one as unfriendly as Tabitha's cat. The comfort of her presence sets your mind at ease, and you finally slip into a deep sleep. Oh, God. At some point, maybe I'll try a run that I, try to go back for them, but again, I don't know if I can die. I don't think so, so it'd be interesting to see that kind of difference. But also this thing, is this me being a different person? Like that second person that apparently lives here, maybe? I don't know. It's weird. I still don't have all the pieces. Still knocking. So we at least did figure out that earlier than I did in my first run, that Charles Shaw wasn't the one that caused the collapse. He didn't do it on purpose. But that the Scarlet guy was like, nope, this is what we're doing, and then blamed it on him, it looks like. So that is episode 2 of our playthrough of Scarlet Hollow. First playthrough, because I'm going to do this all. I'm doing it all. I love this game so freaking much. I hope you guys do too. I believe because of episode 5 having come out, it is on sale on Steam, so you can always get it for, I think, 25% off currently. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Have a wonderful rest of your day, afternoon, evening. Bye-bye!